Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So, hope you guys are all having a great day. So I just want to mention something really quickly. I wanted to start a group chat a while ago that are just dedicated to leaders and officers. So if you're interested in joining the group, I really want it to be a place where different leaders and officers can kind of, communicate, especially in Atlas, maybe selling some castles, maybe trading, all that stuff. I'm going to say a maximum of two people per team, like one officer, one leader, two officers, whatever. But yeah, you can ask questions and stuff. I'm going to try and get some experienced leaders in Atlas to help out. But yeah, let me know. Message me in-game. My in-game name is currently Odin. And yeah. So, getting on to Atlas. Now, I got some messages asking just some basic questions about Atlas, and I think it's going to be interesting if I go through them. For those who don't know, I really don't prepare a lot for these videos. Like, I just start recording. But I'm just going to go over some questions that are frequently asked, and, maybe you can share this with your team, or you can share the answers, or whatever, if this would help you out. So, first question, can you lose shards? No. So if you don't know what I'm referring to, I am referring to Atlas Elemental Shards, and that is what you create gear with. So the only types of consumables in the game that you can lose from an attacker is lumber, food, and gold. Those are the only three things that you can actually lose. Now, even if you're attacked in Atlas, you cannot lose shards. So, whatever shards you get, they're yours. Continuing on with armor, when you're building armor, is there a way to increase the odds of getting a legendary gear tier? So, because, for example, there are 4 different tiers of gear. There's common, rare, epic, and legendary. When you are building the gear, you have no clue which one you're gonna get. So, for example, I get this, let's say I get epic. Alright, there was no way for me to decide or know what type of gear it would be beforehand. It is just based on luck. There are theories that PG increases the odds of getting legendaries outside of events. It is not confirmed, but yeah, pretty much it is just luck. So, now we move on to actual stuff. So, and kind of continuing on with this, what is the difference between different types of lands? And this is something that a lot of people are confused about, I guess, because I seem to see this question a lot. There are 3 different types of land. Major groups. There are different subgroups within this, and I'll go over that in a second. But there are 3 major types of land. The first one is the red. Just pure, this dark red that kind of looks like blood, that is called no man's land. And that is a place where it is a free-for-all. You can go in there, anyone can hit you, no matter what time it is, and yeah, no one can conquer these castles. There's castles in here that no one can get, and it's just kind of there. That it's a place that a lot of people get glory in, because, for example, I'll just sit my rusher out in the open, like on one of these no man's lands around some top teams, and they'll hit me for glory. And it's kind of, this relation between, this relationship, right? So, you can use this to get glory, and that's what it's really good for. So, the red stuff, and you can see that, if you scroll out, the little red stuff that connects everything. And then, if you scroll down a bit, you'll notice these long areas of, like, this whitish thing here. And this is called neutral zone. You'll notice that it's signified by that little, like, green icon, the green hexagon. And this is land where you can sit here and it's safe. No one can hit you. You can use this space to, stage attacks. You can use this stage to farm gold mines. If you are brand new to Atlas and you don't have castles, this is going to be your home. At least for the start. While you're building up your troop counts, while you're, getting gold, getting prepared to try and take a castle, this is going to be your best bet to stay, right? I mean, this is kind of your home. So, the other places are battle zones, and this is where you can conquer castles. By the way, you cannot conquer these safe zone castles. They're just there. But all the ones that are colored differently, that are striped, these are ones that can be conquered by anyone. So yeah, those are the different kinds. Now, there are different tiers of castles, and this is where people get confused. There are tier 2 castles, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5. And that is based on the land. And you can see that in each of these little sections, like, that are sectored off, you see how there's, like, the blue and orange striped, and then there's, like, yellow and blue. The difference you can see in these little silver hexagons. And you'll notice that there's, like, these little 2, downward arrows in that hexagon. And then if we go to, let's see, where can we find one that's different? You can see right here, in the one that's right here, you can see that it's actually 3. So that is a level 3 castle land. So all of these castles, if you look in the bottom middle, it says castle level 3. So what is the difference between these tiers of castles? Well, the biggest thing are the boosts that you get for it. So, for example, if I go to this castle of ours, and we go to manage, there's something called infrastructure. And I'm going to go over this, by the way, in another video, because that's like an entire video worth of information. But the biggest difference is the fort. You can level up the fort to level 6, I believe, if you have a tier 3 castle. If you have a tier 2 castle, you can only get the fort up to 3. And the really good thing about forts is not only do they increase the base level that people have to hit when they're attacking your castle, but you get more egg tokens. And a lot of people on Atlas, that is the big priority. You can also level up the tower and refinery, which will get you more crafting shards and improve troop training. So those three things are the main infrastructure increases as you get up in better tiers. So obviously, you want tier 5 castles. Keep in mind, if you are a brand new team, you are not getting a tier 5 castle. Tier 5 castles are mostly Dreadnought, No Mercy Order, Royal Road, all the top teams. Those are the ones with the tier 5 castles. Those are established teams, they are strong teams, and it really takes a lot to hold those because they are highly sought after. So keep that in mind. Now, that is the difference between lands. Now, the difference between, and there are a couple other differences, but I'm not going to go into that right now. The second Prime Mark choice. So, when you first get Atlas, you're going to get this thing called a fighter, I believe. Yeah, fighter. And you have to get it to level 5, and then you can choose which type of Prime Mark you want to get. I personally have not even research the destroyer. I don't see a point in it. The destroyer is kind of like this not really useful middle ground, and I'll make an entire video on Prime Marks and what the difference is. But personally, for me, if I was a brand new player in Atlas, I would definitely get a trapper. Those are the fastest. They are extremely useful in trying to take castles. You're gonna need siegers, but if you are completely new to Atlas, getting that trapper to kind of move around faster definitely helps. Once you're able to get 2 Primarch slots open, you see that I have all 3, but most people, if you're brand new to Atlas, you want to get the first 2, and you're going to want a trapper, and then you're going to want a sieger. The sieger is the green one, and this is the one that is really good for attacking. Pretty self-explanatory. Sieger is for attacking, trapper is more for defense. So those are the Primarchs. Let's see. Getting glory during PvP. Now, during PvP events in the real game, I'm not referring to Atlas here, I'm talking about the actual game, you'll notice that there are shields, little bubbles, that protect each castle. What that is basically like a defensive thing that means that no one can hit any Primarch or hit the castle that has a bubble on it. You'll see bubbles during PvP, but you'll also see bubbles whenever you attack a base, you attack a castle and you kill off a bunch of troops. You'll see this little bubble, and the castle will be protected whenever that bubble is up. And then 24 hours, I think, the bubble will disappear again, and you can start hitting the castle again. I'm going to make an entire video on attacking castles, and I'll explain all that stuff. It gets complicated, but that's the general idea. So getting glory during PvP is going to be basically going to no man's land. That is really where you're going to see a lot of people just kind of hanging out, because during PvP events, you can't attack people who are on castles, so you have to rely completely on the no man's land. Okay, let's see. When should you aim to get a castle as a newer team? As a brand new team to Atlas, I was asked what tier of Primarch is needed to take castles. It's not necessarily about the level of your Primarchs. It's more so about troop counts. Troop counts are what really matter. So if you guys are brand new to Atlas, you have no troops, you're not going to get a castle. To take a castle, I would say, like most level 2 castles, with not really super high level teams on them, it's going to take like 1 million troops probably to take it, depending on, you know, what castle it is, who's on it. But I would say a rough estimate needed is 1 million troops. What I personally would suggest doing is buying a castle. To do this, it requires finding a team that has a lot of castles and are trying to sell them, which is what I would really like the WD leader chat to be. You know, having some top level teams who have extra castles in there in order for them to sell castles to these lower level teams. And I think that would be really good. But yeah, I would wait quite a while before taking castle, because if you buy a castle straight off the bat and you have no troops to protect it, it is going to be taken from you very, very quickly. So unless you're buying a castle and the team that you're buying from is guaranteeing your protection, I would not go straight into a castle. I would give your team time, if I was an officer or leader of the team, to get time to build up your troop counts, to get up your tier levels of Primarchs, and then start aiming to get some castles, because you definitely do want castles, without a doubt. Because it buffs up the amount of gold you get, the amount of egg tokens that you get, the amount of shards you get. It's just very, very efficient. So, that kind of leads on to my next point, how to get more gold. Gold is one of the biggest resources needed in Atlas, and the biggest thing is 2. There's 2 different ones. Actually, I guess technically 3. First, Atlas Elite. Atlas Elite is really, really good. I would argue that, would I rather have Atlas Elite or normal Elite? Depending on the situation, I might even go for Atlas Elite, because it doubles the amount of troops you can build. It doubles the amount, like, it quintuples. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word, actually. It increases the gold you get by a ton. So that is how you get a lot more gold. So whenever you hit a base, or like, you know, a mine, 300k gold for 12 times loot. Normally, without Atlas Elite, when you have the 30 times multiplier for the very first attack of the day, it's less than that if you don't have Atlas Elite. So Atlas Elite is extremely crucial if you want